What's up there, gang? Decided to run me a little live action here on Vloggish. I think this is number 19th episode. Wow. Time flies, huh? Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. This is the birthday vlog. Today is my birthday. How about it? 34 years old. I actually thought I was turning 35, so to my delight, I'm only turning 34, so that's good, I guess. Still, man, once I hit 30, I just feel like the years have been flying by. It kind of sucks, you know? When I was younger, shit was fucked up, but life always felt different. You know, week to week, month to month, day to day, you know? So, they say, theory of relativity would be like time goes by faster when you're enjoying yourself. Well, I think it just goes faster with monotony, you know. It may go faster in the moment when you're having fun, but I think when you look back, the fuller your life, the longer it seems. Man, getting a little existential here, but, got my trusty old Protocol Ion Ultim that I won. I was 1 of 10 in that particular randomizer drop with my billet box ODB wrap. The dope in there with the VWM drip tip too. And yeah, man. Oh, I got a Can Only Be Nuts in there. My pistachio. Hold up. Decided. Sorry for all the mess, man. I'm constantly moving shit around, doing, I don't know, trying to push myself into trying different camera things, and it's a mess. I swear to you, in the very near future, these vlogs are going to be done through live streaming, through a USB, through that camera instead of a stupid built-in webcam. I don't know. It's just so easy, you know what I mean? Just fuck it. But anyhow, I'm about to upload my first video with my new camera. It's going to be for the Absolute RDA, and that'll be nice. Sorry, once again, this is pre-recorded. I just want to be concise, and I'm going to start opening up the lives to actually be live, though. I mean, because I feel like it's a disservice to all of you and myself that I'm not doing them live. That's the whole point, right? So, Carl Guinness. Look at all these bad boys. I love this shit. This lets you know how much I like Casadega. I'd like to try the Cannoli Bee. What is it called? Cannoli Bee. Not berry. What is the strawberry one? I want to try that. I've never had that. I mostly just use Cannoli Bee cookie and Cannoli Bee nuts. I mean, I like the original Cannoli Bee one as well, but these ones are my favorite for sure. But yeah, I always use Cannoli Bee nuts in here. Pistachio. This pistachio flavor, I still really like it. It's actually, I'm liking it more and more. The Dulce one that Tom O'Halloran gave me, I love this stuff. And I run that in here. Imperia with the marquee Vicious Ant-Man. I am like a hair away from ordering a Vidar Stabwood. The Vidar Boro mod. I'm saying Vidar. I know Fagan pronounces it differently, and Vader. It sounds too much like Darth Vader, and I think Vidar just sounds fancier and kind of sounds like Jean-Luc Godard, which is a director, and it just sounds cooler, Vidar. So that's what I'm calling it. Just like just a friend of mine, Justin, he just got the C-Bot Control edition collab, and instead of calling it a C-Bot, I told him I'm calling it a K-Bot, and that should be the new name for it, K-Bot. You know, I think it sounds catchy. And this as well, I call this the Ulton instead of the Ultim Ion, right? Why not? You know, you gotta have fun with this shit. You gotta throw the names in where they apply. So, pretty cool. Yeah, speaking of this, this little setup, this is my clone Vaporware Mods Imperia. I sold the authentic one, and not because I'm a dick and I don't appreciate authentic gear. I sold it because, hey, I had it for years, and even though it had some sentimental value from, you know, who I got it from, and it already being my favorite mod or favorite RTA from having had the clone one from years ago, I got rid of it because I could never finally get that. I'm real sensitive to like lingering tastes, lingering smells from certain juices that may be stronger. A lot of times it's fruit juices or like menthol juices, things like that. They just get embedded, and like I tried everything to clean the hell out of that Imperia, and I could not get rid of the taste. Ultrasonic cleaner, alcohol, bleach, lemon juice, vinegar, switching out all the O-rings. I've tried it all. Normally that it works. Normally one of those work. Hot soap and water, whatever. And I'm talking soaks. Soaks in alcohol, soaks in bleach, you know, everything. Usually one of those things end up doing the job. I could not get rid of it. It was always there. Even if it helped, but it was still there. And I don't want to be vaping one juice and getting any kind of hint of anything else that had been in there prior. You know, that's why I usually stick to one juice per atomizer. So that's why I got rid of it. You know, not because I'm ignorant, you know. But alas, and I'm not going to harp on this, but, you know, that video I made about the Imperia, despite saying how much I love that design and the way that RTA is, because I merely referenced this clone and that they have similarity, like, I mean, that's the idea of clone. It's supposed to be this, you know, just like the authentic. That's what I was getting at when I said, surprisingly, they're very similar, because they are. I mean, that's the point. But sometimes clone companies throw a wrench in there. They try to build on the design or make some kind of adjustment or just randomly do some things that are different. Like, they just do. And that's all I was alluding to, is that they didn't really try to do anything different. They kept the clone to like that one-to-one balance there. Like, here's an example. Here is a clone Monarchy J3S V1, the original. And I think this is the YFTK clone. I had two at one time. I had the SXK and the YFTK to compare them, because I like comparing stuff. But I ended up losing the other one along with some other gear I had at work. It got stolen or something happened. But I've seen photos of the real thing, and it's actually different than both of them. The authentic is completely different. Not completely, but it's just made differently. This has like this, it's almost like an integrated tip. Basically is an integrated tip. And just certain things, like the Integra Authentic is different than the clone. The deck and everything, they look different. So, but for the Imperia, they stuck with the design, probably because it's perfect as it is, and there's really nothing you could change for the better. So, anyhow, but yeah, I'm still not in that group, and last week I found out I'm not even in this group. I went to post a picture of my old Ton with the dope in it in the VWM group, and I can't find it. So it looks like I'm kicked out of that too. Great. So I'm just fucking just some guy trying to exist in life. Fuck. You know, trying to say that something's the best of its class is not good enough, I guess. So kicked out of it. And I bought this dope direct from Big Rare Mods too. That's just the worst part. And the first one they sent me, it was like, it wasn't defective, but it got fucked up on the first build. There was a stray wire from the coil, and it just when I was pulsing the coils, I got a hot leg, and it actually burnt out the screw. You know, the grub screws, they're flatheads. It actually burnt the screw out and threading, and it melted the whole screw into the deck, into the positive post or whatever. And then I told Costas about it, and I had to pay, $30 DHL to get a new one sent to me. Just the goddamn screw. Just a replacement screw. So, that's the only time I've dealt with VWM personally. I bought this drip tip through a friend directly from the site a couple months ago. So, I mean, those are the only two times I've directly given VWM any money, but I still, really appreciate their gear. And, even though, Costas maybe doesn't even know that I'm banned from the group and may have no awareness of any of this shit, but some admin or moderator, whatever you want to call them, some member of that group, or possibly a couple of them, decided to kick me out. They're probably members of the same group, the other group that kicked me out too, so I guess that makes sense, but the whole thing is preposterous in my opinion, so. Anyhow, Hall of Vape, I really didn't feel like there was that much stuff. There was a few things, but a couple of them I already knew about ahead of time, like the Steam shell. I seen Mark's video on that, and the deck and everything, it just didn't look that different. And he's not one for excuse me, real airy RBAs, so his opinion of the whole 5 millimeter pin or no pin for that kind of big airflow. He's not going to be one to judge that positively regardless. So I'd like to hear another opinion, someone who likes real DL stuff. But it probably makes sense. It probably is too airy to have 5 millimeter airflow, but I don't know, the STM it wasn't bad for that, so it could be cool. And they had 2 chimneys. I mean, I think chimneys are overlooked. Although chimneys are going to affect the juice capacity and stuff, but I've said this on a stream before. Like, you have a nice big chimney and a big board drip tip, and we'll probably get more of that RDA flavor that we all want out of our board devices, you know. Of course, there are plenty, you know, I myself, I do like restrictive, you know, like the tight draw, back pressure type shit too, but I'm just saying, sometimes it's nice to change it up or have different devices for different shit and shit. And shit and shit and shit. Yeah. So, woo. I decided to break this out. The Dwarf 24 DLFL. Anybody like skateboarding in here? You ever watch CKY2K? Bam Margera says an SSBSTS, a switch stance backside tail slide. This kind of reminds me of that. The Dwarf FLDL on the Wicket by Limelight. Bliss. Bliss means white. Gloom means black. These are Limelight terms. It's got the Dwarf MTL drip tip though. I broke this out. I like it. I mean, it's been ages since I used this fucking thing, but you know how rowdy that sounds in there? Sounds crazy, doesn't it? It's real loud. Got baked cornflake sugar cookie in there. Yeah. Big props to Mark, Vaping Fagan. I swear to God, I mean, it's like a miracle. He's like going all, like, it figures he's finally coming around now that everything's dying out, right? He's like getting real, like, back into like high end. Not that he was ever really that big into high end, but he's getting real into high end and even delving into like boro mods and shit like that. I'm just like, what? I never thought I'd see the day. But I'm really, sounds corny, but like I'm like proud of him for like actually giving it a chance. You know, it's pretty cool. So if you haven't watched Vaping Fagan recently, I would definitely do that. This is the coolest thing about the Wicket. You could just take the faceplate off and get right to the board. Like, awesome. And it won't just pop off accidentally. I was just like playing around with it. But yeah, I mean, he's had like a Danny box recently. I mean, he's always used like the Typhoon GT4, but now, I remember watching his Pure Glass version, that review. But yeah, now like him with the Dwarf and like I don't know if he got the new Atmazu or the Tripod V2. I remember the one live stream he did. I was trying to convince him to. I don't know if he got that. I think he did actually though. Then there was like this video, something about him buying the Billy Voodoo Billy collab RBA and then getting like 2 of them and then returning it. Okay. On Amazon, no less. Like, how do you even buy RBAs on Amazon? But he did, apparently. I've only known Amazon to carry cotton coils and DIY supplies. Like, I can't believe the guy snuck an RBA on there. And like, you should hear the whole story. Like, go on his channel and watch that. Shit was funny how he returned it and like the modder was bitching at him about it. Yet like the modder's like closed up shop. Like, he's not, I don't know, that company's debunked now or dissolved or whatever. So, it's so weird. Yeah, I mean, for my birthday, I was gonna treat myself to one of those Vidar stab woods. There was three of them I really liked. The one's already sold. The other two, I'm like on the fence about. I really like when they have those little tree shapes in them. Those little like stingray, fossil looking shapes. Those brown shapes in them. The one I like the colors of a lot. It doesn't have that. And then the other one that does kind of has like these colors a little bit. The Jane. Um, this is a little different for me. I have the Patabellum on there. The Patabellum Unleashed. So it's got like 3 little air holes under coil. It's a good RTA. RDL, MTL type. And this is super light. Yeah, I like this a lot. I have this in there. I attempted to sell all of these, but a couple of them lingered around, and I just started using them. So what's in the Patabellum is the Fresno Fog Golden Gate, like a Golden Gate cookie, like a golden Oreo, kind of tastes like that. Pretty good. I don't know. I guess I just need to steep. Maybe all those juices that I always knock on, maybe they all just need super long to steep. Could be, but I don't know. I don't have that patience. If I'm out of juice of a certain juice, I can't be prepared to order it and then wait 3 months. Or say I've never had it. I'm not going to order 3 of them so that like by the time the first one's steeped and then they can catch up to each other, like, excuse me, it's just a hassle. I don't know. I let my boss borrow this for like the last 2 weeks. This is the Dot AIO V2, and it had like a evil dot spot in there, SX or Ulton or SXK, whatever it is. So, but still, I mean, this ends up being like technically RRP. This was like $150 setup, so I just let him use this. It's even an SXK billet box drip tip on there. Just to give him something to use, because he smokes so much. He smokes like a pack a day, and I'm just trying to help him transition, and he seems kind of reluctant to do it, to really switch, but I don't know. I'm going to end up just giving him a Caliburn or something, because after like a whole week, I mean, he only vape like a quarter of the tank, so it's just, you know. Unfortunately, I was hoping he would just really dive into it like I did when I started vaping, but not so. What other new stuff came out? I really like the Passport AIO, Passport Boromod that Mr. Todd did a video for recently. That looks pretty nice. Umbrella mods. I think it's like 200 or maybe even under. And it's got that classic shape that I like, you know, like the curved back, flat front, high side fire button, you know, like an ion Borat shape. PET material, so like the same as like the BXR, the OG BXR. I mean, it has a lot of appealing features to it. Actually is a DNA 60 too, I believe, so can't really knock it. I think that's probably the best Boromod to come out of China. Probably will be forever too. So then I seen Vaping with Vic had a video recently on a different Boromod. This one, I'm forgetting who makes it. Was it Steam Crave? No, I don't know who made it. somebody made it. Dual 18650 boro mod that the front of it, you can't see the boro whatsoever except a little bit on the sides, and the fire button's on the front panel like the MK Alpha, and so you can't, like, good luck finding aftermarket panels for it because you actually have to incorporate the button to it. So if you wanted a clear front panel, you'd have to hope that they would make it. I think it's a DovPo device. So I don't know. It's a mess. It's too big. It's kind of novelty. I mean, someone will like it. Some people like big mods, big hokey Chinese stuff. You know, maybe as a desk mod or whatever. But I don't know. Between like a 21700 and two 18650s, I'm going with the 21700. Especially if it's a boro device. I mean, a boro RBA. So. It probably would have sold really well last year. At this point, I really don't know. Same thing with Vicious Ant. I mean, they're coming out with this resin, this stab resin version of the Vidar way too late. I mean, they should have started with that instead of the Delrin ones. I mean, I didn't notice anybody that was too interested in that mod to begin with. And then apparently it sounded like there was some flaws with them, some hang-ups that it had, and so even the reputation that it had built was kind of negative. So now they're doing stabwood resin hybrid versions, and they look fucking phenomenal, but I don't know. It's a little late. All the prices have come down though, like even their new stuff, but like reflective of the buy-sell trade prices, it's like, blah! I mean, it's so bad. Everything's dirt cheap. I've seen a guy who's a very avid member who was one of the few people to get a Harpy, a Dan Chase resin Harpy. He said they were 500, but I mean, used, I never seen them. They were, for a used one, it was like between like $600 and like fucking $900 at the time when they first came out. Because I think there's only like 10 of them at most. You know, it was him and a few other names of people that are pretty prominent people that, you know, are always on top of everything in that terms. So they're the only ones that had them. So for that to be selling at $350 and nobody even jumping on it, it just shows you where it's all at. It's fucking in the grave. I don't think it's temporary either. I think the whole vape scene is subsiding and probably going to stay that way for quite some time. I think the boro hype was the last big thing. I mean, I think that was the last big rush of energy and just innovation and sale and profit and all that shit. I mean, now that got overdone, it's over. I mean, I don't see what anyone else is going to come up with next to really keep the hobbyist scene going. It's very unlikely, but they try. I mean, but people know they're not going to, you know, they could make this stuff, but why would they when they know people aren't buying it no matter what? I mean, you're always going to have those guys with the money that are going to buy the newest thing no matter what, even if it looks like trash. You know, they're going to buy the new thing rather than the awesome old thing just because the mere fact that it's been around for a while and it's not exclusive, you know. Like those resin orcas, I mean, they were all like, they were $600 new and worth that much or more anytime you were to get one until Evan did that sale, and they became very abundant, you know. And now it's so the exclusivity. I think that's a word. How exclusive something is really determines how much people will pay for it, more so than the quality of the product, sadly. So that's why those new Delros, people are spending BMM money for them, because there's only been that one batch. So, and it's really the only new thing out that's interesting. Maybe that and the Locust, to me anyway, but people don't seem all that gung-ho about that mod either, so. Shit. I had something else I wanted to talk about, but I forget. Damn. I had it in my hands. So, next week I'll do, or I was going to do it today. I mean, I still can, possibly, but it's probably not going to happen. The single coil RTA category I'm going to hit, and I might break it up into two sections, like the single coil China stuff and then the single coil high-end stuff. Since I did the Chinese dual coil, because that's all there is for dual. I still have to learn how to import my music or my titles or anything like that resembles the styling that I've been doing for my videos recently. So this next upload of the Absolute, it's just going to be pretty cut and dry. Sorry to say. It sounds like the unknown stuff got pushed back a little bit with the King Bow version of the Boro itself. So I guess that means the Enigma RTAs get pushed back slightly. You know, these things happen. And is there any other new stuff? I mean, really much going on. Yeah, I don't know. Shit's definitely slowed up a bit, eh? I told you about those RTAs. I had this wicked up recently, and whatever coil I had in here is just not good, because I was using, where is it at? I was using this. I took this to work all week instead. The Citadel. Oh god. The Cyclone Citadel. And then I had wicked this up yesterday, the Typhoon BTD, and it's just been running too hot. So I guess I had to put a smaller build in there that's not built as low, I guess. I still never built this up. I've had it sitting on my desk forever. This Type 2. I'm gonna start using this, but I don't know if now's a good time. You know, it's probably not. And yeah. Well, darn, I feel like I had other shit I wanted to talk about, and I'm drawing a blank. That's why you should always write your notes down, you know, just to keep on track. Oh, I got a, can you see that right there? That is a dehumidifier. So I've had the air purifier for a month or two now, and it works, gets any vape out of the air, but I still get a musty smell. So I got this, because I got my mom an air purifier as well for Mother's Day. So when I ordered that, I got this dehumidifier, and that shit works. Took all the musty smell out of here, and like it ends up outputting a lot of water. So like apparently like that vape like makes this room drenched, and it's really it works. So if it's cheap, it was only like $30. So those things go a long way if you're ever vaping too much in a closed space and trying to come up with something. That shit will work. Highly recommend it. So yeah, still haven't had my hands on a Skynet and a Maven. I definitely want to use those things. The J-Haze 143 RTA is another thing that I see that's coming out soon, or maybe even is out already. That looks nice. I mean, I wasn't that crazy about the Jenna. Any version of the Jenna always had its problems to me. But like on the RDA, I don't know, this is supposed to be a more reduced version of that, and I think there is a lot of potential in that concept of trying to reduce everything, and for, you know, because that airflow is one thing, but like the flavor, I feel like that whole wraparound airflow thing may be more, it's neat, but it might be more of a hindrance than a help. So this condensing the chamber approach, I think, is a good idea. Of course, the video got made it private for some reason, so I didn't really, I mean, we already seen a video on it in the past, so I don't know why it's private now. It makes no sense. But, you know. Secret, secret, I got a secret. And, yeah. So, you know me, I'm just vaping on my same old shit. I put a picture up the other day of my A-list, my first string mods, boro mods, and well, you know, the orca, the pink orca I had, and my orange harpy. These are just examples, but the pink orca and my Delro Blanco. The Blanco with the control panels is gone. Man, it hurts. That mod was with me for a long time. It was probably my nicest high-end boro mod for that time. For a long time. And just knowing that it was such a crucial boro mod for the whole existence of boro mods is a sentimental enough reason that I wanted to keep it for as long as I did, and from who I got it from. Got it from Debo, and he got it basically brand new. But it being a lipo, I never use it. I don't vibe well with lipos. I'm in the house a lot, unfortunately. I don't go traveling. You know, I'm not one of those rich people that get to go to fucking the Caribbean, you know, every 6 months, and I'll bring my Delro because it's cute and easy to chart. You know, I'm in the house if I'm not at work. I got a shit ton of 18650 and 21700 batteries. So if I got everything wicked up, ready to go, and I'm vaping, I'm switching batteries out, then I come to my Delro, I got half battery left or less, and then I say, well, I guess I'm not going to be vaping that for a while. I got to charge it. And now, if it really charged as fast as I got knocked, I probably wouldn't care. But it doesn't. It does take a little longer. So then I end up having to forget about it, or I put off charging it because I don't want it to sit there at full charge and me forget about it or something like that, like you would for a phone, taking care of the lithium-ion battery, that kind of thing. Yeah, so then it ended up just getting neglected, and then I'm like annoyed at myself for neglecting it. And I just hate neglecting any mods, especially expensive ones. I spent a lot of money on that thing because at the time it was one of the only boro mods out there. So that was a $600 mod for me. So that's over RRP plus $200 for the control panels that were on it. So I only got like half of my money back of all that shit. So, but why would I sell it? Well, not only did I not use it, but hey man, I'm trying to come up with this money for this other camera, so I can really delve into the autofocus aspect of making these videos. And you know, that other camera I have technically has autofocus, but it's more of like a cinema camera. It's meant for filming with a crew, you know. Whereas the next camera I'm getting is made just for solo shooters, so it'd be a lot more convenient for doing videos like this, solo work. So it had to go, and at least you know that new Delra D650's out. I know it's impossible to get right now, but I'm sure in time, you know, when he makes more of them, price will come down. And when it does, I definitely would like to get one, another white Delra, you know, and that'll just suit my vaping style better. Visually, I love the original Delra. I love the way it looks. I like that it's a thick Delra and it's rugged feeling. Excuse me, but I don't know. It is like it's super boxy if you feel it. Like they're all like hard edges. So it wasn't always the most comfortable mod to hold. But I don't know. It was just so important for what it is. You know, it just because it really kicked a lot of shit off. You know, nobody really took pride in the idea of making boro mods until that mod came around. Before that, it was really just the billet box, you know. Delro and the key really set things into gear, you know. So yeah, putting that picture up, what do you know? Both the modders of the Orca and the Delro mentioned something to me, like jokingly in a comment, saying like, nice such and such mod, which is their mod, which I don't have anymore. So anytime I did those group pictures prior, those mods were incorporated. So I guess it was kind of obvious, and I don't know. I just didn't think they'd catch it, and I'd spare myself the embarrassment, but not quite. So yeah, as if it didn't hurt bad enough losing those mods, but they both went to good people, and that's what matters, right? People that'll end up using it more than I had the time to. So that's cool. This next video is going to be hard because I got to really come up with these, all these different single coil RTAs that I think are worth placing, and I feel like I'm going to have more RTAs than I have places for. So that's going to be a pain in the ass because there are a lot of RTAs that I like. So yeah. But hey, that's the whole point. I'll have to narrow it down, you know, somehow. Yeah. I guess that's everything. Shit. I don't know if there's any other new news, fake wise. Oh, there's a damn, I don't remember the name of it, but there's a new mod out, boro mod, and it looks identical. Not literally identical, but it looks very similar to the D650. And I made a comment like, everyone was saying like, "Oh, is this a clone?" Like, "Oh my god, I can't believe they made it look just like that." And, a lot of banter, and I just wrote like, we all see the pattern here, right? Like every year, there's like literally like 3 to 5 mods that come out that are genuine and different, and then there's like for each of those mods, there's like 10 more that mock that style almost to a T. Whether it's the KBR, the Harbor, the Delro, it just blows my mind, how cloning gets such a bad rep, but like these other modders are like basically cloning these popular mods, like how two window style became so popular and exposed battery became so popular again. Things like that. I mean, there's really only so many kinds of mods, and then people just put these little spins on it to make it their own. But that's cool. But, it's just silly, So I just kind of wrote, like, what did you expect? I mean, this is the pattern. We see this shit all the time. So, it is what it is. You just got to find the one that actually speaks to you, or stick with the one that's the genuine design, or, the genuine effort. It's just silly that they do that, but... And, clone companies, fuck them. Their whole agenda and how they profit is fucked up. You shouldn't be making money off other people's hard work and their designs, especially like when they're doing it all by themselves. They don't have a big team, and tons of shit to fall back on. They're not part of some big super corporation and shit. See, the clone companies, yeah, they deserve death, but the poor schmucks that end up buying them, they're just you and me, man. They're just regular old people. But I always opted for the good shit because, hey, I mean, that's what it is. I mean, you don't even know if there's gonna be a clone of the authentic. So if you like the authentic enough, you're gonna get the authentic because at that time, that's all there even is. So there's still no clone of... Oh, no, wait, they did clone this, didn't they? They fucking did. Holy shit, I forgot about that. My argument backfired. Well, there's no clone of this. There's no boro clone. That's for sure. Yeah, they briefly cloned the Bestia. I know they did. The block. It didn't last long, though. Sometimes the clones are rarer than the authentics. I swear to God. It's funny. It's true. Wasn't always like that, but it is true now. They really do limit clone production as well. Yeah, there's clone 38s and Borats now. There's an SXK 3-window DNA 60 Borat now. They only have in black. I've talked to some people that have bought the 38 clone. That's like a different brand. I don't know if it's 5A or Vape Easy or what. But they're non-DNA, and apparently, like, I knew they would not feel anything like the authentic, because the authentic feels like fucking amazing. But I knew it wouldn't feel as good, but they, instead of dyeing it, they apparently painted it or something in some way. I don't know if it's like Cerakote or what, but I never felt one to know like what these clones feel like. But people have told me the paint's literally like kind of like chipped off of them even. Like that's possible apparently. So something with BMM, I mean, I don't see the clone ever kind of like touching the real thing. You know, down to the contacts. Like the contacts in here, they're actual silver. The ones in the clone are probably like nickel plated. You know what I mean? Just a little shit like that, like, goes a long way. And you know, but people are so desperate for them, and it is such a impossible fucking mod to get that they knew that was a surefire way to get buyers. I mean, they sold it. I had looked the one time and then looked again like a couple days later. They were sold out of every version, every kind. They had 2 different patterns and like 8 colors of each pattern, and they were all sold out in that day. And then like I don't know, a few days later they came back and restocked. They had it all restocked already. So I mean, it's that there's that much interest in that. You know what I mean? People are still willing to spend money on vape gear, but it's only like a certain amount, like 200 most, which sucks because most people that are buying high-end stuff, they want the best thing. So they end up buying the more expensive things, like a $500 mod, and then they want to sell it for $400. Well, like, that's dead. Like, no one's spending that no more. So you end up making more money buying a $100 thing and or $50 thing and selling it for $80. You know, that's the best way, your best chance you can to make money. Like, or buying shit for $100 and selling it for $100, or buying shit for $50 and selling it for $50. Like, that's your only chance of actually breaking even or profiting. So, or even making a sale in general. You know, you bought something for 50 and sell it for 25. Like, that's pretty much the extent of shit now. Unless it's something really rare. I mean, it's to the point, like, only BMM, only unknown, and only, like, ions have any kind of value at all. It's fucking... That's where we're at. It's not very interesting that way, but those are the survivors in this whole game. There's very few companies. I don't know. I don't want to talk like that because it's depressing, but and I don't want to, you know, it's kind of lame to end on that note, but you know, it is what it is. At least they're decent companies, you know. Could be a bunch of you know, lame companies that ended up on top somehow. You know, that, because that's, who's to say that's not possible, you know, so, people just really hunkered down and decided this is it, that's all I'm gonna get, and these are the only companies I'm gonna fuck with, and, you know, to each their own. I always was open to variety, you know, not because I'm not loyal to any companies. There definitely are those companies I really like, you know, the brands that really I'm into, but I'm not going to limit myself to them, and I'm not going to overhype them because it kind of ruins it for everybody if you do. So, in my opinion. But that's why I always try to stick, you know, keep with this, having some variety in this stuff. But yeah, I'm totally rambling, and I guess I just ran out of current events to talk about. So, all right, we almost pulled off an hour here, so you know, I just thought it's been a little bit since I did a live, so I assure you, next live we'll do something that everyone can chime in on, because I mean, my lives have always been kind of limited in the chats, but I miss the chats for sure. So, you know, until next time, y'all have a good week or however long. And, thank you for all your comments and subscriptions, likes, shares, whatever you just do. Appreciate all that stuff. We're over 400 subs now, which happened pretty fast, actually. Went from, what was it? Yeah, 300 to 400, like, in a blink of an eye, so that's pretty cool. I actually feel like I put out less content in that time period, and yet we went to from 3 to 4, so that's fucking awesome, Again, the guys that always stick by, and I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of people that watch that just don't comment, but the guys that actually reach out and comment and just to keep the momentum going for me, I appreciate that kind of thing. It definitely helps me like persevere through the slow times, like right now. So, all right, I'll see you. Take care and have a good week.